ต้นไปขอขอบใจ
Your Excellency, Mr. Chumali Sayasman, President of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here for the first meeting of states parties to the Convention on Cluster Munitions. I thank the government and people of the Lao People's Democratic Republic for their impressive leadership on this important issue. Partnership has been a hallmark of this convention. I therefore thank all the delegates, government representatives, United Nations agencies, the International Committee of the Red Cross and civil society organizations for the work you have done throughout the process and for your support to the Lao government in preparing for this meeting. The people of this country know only too well the destructive impact of cluster munitions. There is a clear correlation between the widespread presence of unexploded ordnance and the prevalence of poverty here. Laos showed bold leadership by being one of the first countries to ratify the convention. Its leaders and citizens alike saw the implications of trying to solve the vast challenges posed by these weapons and meeting the needs of victims. You saw something else as well, the opportunity afforded by the convention to advance the disarmament agenda, strike a blow against a terrible weapon, and work with other countries in building a safer, more prosperous nation. And you have followed through by hosting this meeting, by presiding over the convention, and now calling for a 9th Millennium Development Goal for Laos, the elimination of all unexploded ordnance from priority agricultural land over the next 10 years. This is what this treaty is about, safeguarding lives and generating opportunities for children, families, and communities here in Laos and across the world. We have learned this the hard way, through the stories of people like Tumi and other survivors who are with us this week. Thank you for making us wiser and helping us to realize that our discussions are not only about weapons, national security, military doctrines, and disarmament talks. They are about people's lives, about how we protect young people tending cattle, working in rice paddies, or otherwise going about their daily business. It is about parents' right to safely earn an income for their family, send their children to school, and walk without fear to the market or their place of worship. We should not impose on them a responsibility to be more careful. Rather, it is our collective responsibility to clear the environment of unexploded ordnance. That is what this convention will help make possible, thanks in large part to this country's own pioneering efforts. Yet, much work remains. A quarter of Laos villages are still contaminated. The number of victims has averaged 300 people a year over the past decade. The convention calls on states to support victim assistance, mine clearance, and risk education. Let us ensure that affected countries such as Laos get the assistance they need and deserve. This convention has great potential, not just in removing the physical threats posed by these weapons, but in supporting economic and social development. The United Nations is a proud partner in this noble cause and stands with the people of Laos and others whose lives and well-being are threatened by unexploded remnants of war. Thank you very much for your attention.
Excellency Chumali Sayasman, President of the Lao PDR. Dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chumi. I'm a survivor. I'm from Sichuan province, which is around 10 hours north of Vientiane by bus. I'm very pleasant to see so many people today attending this important conference. I welcome all of you to our country. I would like to tell you a little bit about my story. I had an accident in 1996 when I was 8 years old. I went to collect bamboo after school alone, with my spade in hand. When I was digging for bamboo shoots, I heard my spade hit the metal. Before I knew what this was, I was already blown away. The grass surround that's just near the rice fields came to see me immediately. They carried me home in an old sorrow. My parents were very upset. They took me home to the district hospital. From there, I had to be transferred because my injuries were so serious. Because I lived so far from the hospital, it took a long time before I was treated. I was unconscious the whole time. I woke up the next day to find that I had lost my left hand. The shock sent me back into unconsciousness for another day. I stayed in the hospital for 2 months. After I left the hospital, it took a very long time to recover, not only physically but also mentally. It was very difficult to motivate myself to go back to school. But I did it because I knew education was the key to making a living. I knew I was lucky to be able to continue my education, which is not the case for many people with disabilities. I continued studying until college. At the same time, I volunteered at the World Education Office in Sichuan province. I was very fortunate to get a job with them after graduation. Since 2009, I have been working as project assistant at their Excel Survival Assistance Program. This had provided me great support as well. My story is largely about fortune. I survived to ask them even though I have to travel far. And for a long time to get medical treatment. I was able to get schooling because my disability did not require many special services. My education forced me to volunteer and get a great job. I know this is not an opportunity or survival. In-laws have access to. But I hope that the implementation of the convention will mean many more people will have the same opportunities. I hope they don't have those opportunities just because of good luck, but also because of good laws and policies. I have met other people with disabilities that have found work, and they can contribute to their communities. But I know that many survivors do not have access to education and jobs, as they are fear included in subsidy. I hope the convention transfers that not only allow PDR, but also in other affected countries. I also hope that this can be new victims because land is being encouraged more quickly. I hope no one will even use CLuster Munitions again, because it can only lead to the kind of the suffering we have in our PDR. In my job now, I help people understand the situation of the survivors in Laos. As a band advocate, I help the people understand the situation of survivors around the world. I strongly urge governments to join the convention and to implement the Vientiane Action Plan. We need your cooperation and for everyone to join together to help the extra victims. We will their physical abilities, their rights, and the future. Thank you for the attention.